सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। श्लोक नंबर 21। अथ सप्तमोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच यो यो यां यां तनुं भक्तः श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां तामेव विदधाम्यहम्। सतया श्रद्धया युक्तः तस्याराधनमीहते लभते च ततः कामान् मयैव विहितान् हितान्। अन्तवत्तु फलं तेषां तद्भवत्यल्पमेधसाम्। देवान् देवयजो यान्ति मद्भक्ता यान्ति मामपि। In this chapter, which is called this Jnana Vijnana Yoga, 7th chapter, Bhagavan presented the problem of samsara. How people are bound. For that, answer was given. A person is bound because he does not know his true nature, his true relationship with Ishvara, and he has got wrong conclusion about oneself and about his relationship with Ishvara. So ignorance and ignorance born wrong conclusions are the cause for samsara. Samsara means bondage. What is bondage? Bondage is something which you don't want but you find yourself with. That is called bondage. Something which you don't want but something you find yourself with. That is bondage. And what is there fundamentally which people do not want but they find themselves with? That is the fundamental sense of limitation, unacceptability of oneself. That is the fundamental bondage. I am not acceptable to myself. Even though people may look very arrogant, but inside there is hollowness. Inside there is a self-rejection. In fact, people are more arrogant because they want to hide their self-rejection by this false appearance. And so the fundamental problem is I am not acceptable to myself. This is a bondage. And therefore, I want to become somebody. A small child, he wants to become like father. So he will behave like that. This girl wants to become like mother. So she will have the purse and all this. She will try to behave as a grown-up person. So she is not happy being a child. The elders will be telling how children are so happy. So we miss our childhood. But these children want to grow. They want to become adult. So every stage of your life, you want to become somebody. Why? Because right now I am not acceptable to myself as I find myself now. And that is called bandha. Generally people think that my family is my bondage, Swamiji. I am bound because I have a family, I have a husband, I have a wife, I have children, I have parents to take care of. So generally we think that family and family responsibility is bondage. That is a general notion. I am bound because I have people around. I am associated with them and that I have responsibility to them. That is what is considered to be bondage. But it is not correct. If family is the bondage, then the people who don't have family, they should be free. Those who are bachelors, those who don't have anything, they are not married, they don't have parents, they should be free because they don't have family. You ask them, are you feeling free? Are you feeling free from bondage? Are you completely happy with yourself? No, no, no. In fact, they are struggling to get married. Nowadays is a big issue. The parents have got big issue. What? How to get my son, first of all, convinced. How to get my son convinced that he should get married? He will say, Pakla, see, I will see, I will see. And then daughter also is saying, and afterwards what happens? They are waiting for very ideal match. So it is something like waiting for luxury bus. Ordinary bus, we let it go. Afterwards what happens? Luxury bus doesn't come, ordinary also doesn't come. Because a person has passed that age. And therefore, don't think that family is bondage. Our problem is we always find some excuse outside. We have got this habit of finding a scapegoat for our problem. Problem is there with me, but I blame somebody else. As long as I am doing that, I am not a spiritual person. A person can be called spiritual only when he stops blaming the world for his problem. I am miserable because of my spouse, because of my children, because of family, then real spirituality has not started. Even though you may be attending classes for 20 years, but as long as you are blaming the world for your misery, spirituality has not started. Spirituality starts when we don't blame the world for our bondage. And one more thing, we don't blame ourselves also. We don't blame the world, we don't blame ourselves. We take responsibility. There is a difference between taking the blame and taking responsibility. You don't take blame. You don't blame yourself. You don't blame the world. You take the responsibility. Nobody has responsibility to make me happy. Nobody has responsibility to make me free. Nobody has responsibility to make me acceptable. I have responsibility. When you understand this well, then only your spirituality has started. Spirituality doesn't mean that we have Chandanam, Bhasma, this Rudraksha Mala, staying in the ashram, or any other such external things. That doesn't make you spiritual. This makes you spiritual. So that is what Bhagavan highlighted. That not knowing me as oneself, not knowing Ishvara as oneself, that is the cause for samsara. When you understand yourself to be what really you are, then you find yourself to be acceptable. In reality, I am acceptable because I am Purnaha. I am limitless. But not knowing that, I consider myself to be limited and I become unacceptable to myself. And that is what samsara is. And therefore, what is to be done? We learn to change our approach, stop blaming the world, and start getting this pursuit of knowledge. Start doing some attempt in the direction of getting knowledge. And that particular pursuit of discovery of Ishvara as oneself is called bhakti. So bhakti has got several meanings. One of the meanings is the pursuit of the attainment of Ishvara as oneself. And that Bhagavan presented. And Bhagavan said, initially you will worship me with some material desire. And that is called here Sakama Bhakti. You try to worship Ishvara even with some material desire in your heart. Bhagavan said, doesn't matter. And Bhagavan says, I am not particular that you should worship me in this Krishna form only, or Rama form only, Shiva form only. Bhagavan says, any form you worship. Any form you worship, finally I, the Parameshwara alone, give the result for any worship you have done. So Bhagavan is giving the message that Sakama Bhakti means worshipping the Lord with even material desire is not futile. And the giver of the result of that worship is Parameshwara, the final Ishvara alone, who is the truth behind all the devatas. Therefore, you need not have conflict that I am worshipping Rama, then Shiva will be angry. Or if I am worshipping Shiva, then Rama will be angry. Devi will be angry. Anjaneya will come with Gada and he will hit me that why you have stopped worshipping me and now you are worshipping Devi. That is a very childish thinking. We need not have that thinking. If you have understood Ishvara, any form you worship. But Bhagavan says, Shraddhaya. Worship with Shraddha. If you worship with Shraddha any form, Bhagavan said, I will bless you with the result through that form. And your Shraddha in that particular form will increase. You worship Anjaneya and Anjaneya you pray. Pray for marriage. Anjaneya said, why are you praying me for marriage? So Anjaneya is a brahmachari, but still you pray. Anjaneya will give this your desired object, desired situation. Or devata chittana dharai Hanumant sei sab kuch karai. Means you need not go anywhere else. You have Shraddha in that form. And Hanumanji will give the result. Really, Parameshwara alone through this form of Hanumanji is giving the result. So that your Shraddha will increase and again you will worship for something else you need. And that is how auspicious circle will go on. You pray for something, Bhagavan grants that to your desired objects, your Shraddha increases, again you worship. This auspicious circle goes on. Thus Bhagavan says, any form you worship, no problem. Even with material desire you worship, no problem. From this one thing we learn that we should not hurry up in this pursuit of attainment of Ishvara. Not only you should not hurry up, you should not make anybody else hurry up. Some problem is there with some people when they come and study Vedanta and they learn about Karma Yoga, doing the karma without any expecting material benefit, only for Chitta Shuddhi you should work. That's very good. But if somebody is worshipping even with material desire, you should not discourage. Because if you discourage that person to worship the Lord with material desire, he will give up that. And he will not worship the Lord without material desire. He will stop worshipping completely. Therefore, never disturb the Shraddha or the pursuit of anybody. Let everybody take baby step and slowly let them grow. You need not have anxiety that when my spouse or my children will come to this realization, etc. Slowly. In fact, when we prescribe any sadhana to anyone, when somebody asks me, I always tell 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I don't say 1 hour you do. Even the book I give, I always give small book. Why? Because small book they are likely to read. If you give this very thick book, home study course, etc., very, very unlikely. So generally, we always help people grow with baby steps. Your anxiety to make the person run fast will make the person fall down. Therefore, always have that patience. So Bhagavan has a lot of patience. So Bhagavan says, you worship me with material desire, doesn't matter. But like a statutory warning, Bhagavan says, Sakama Bhakti will definitely get you the material desire, material situation. But whatever result you get will be finite, will be limited. And with limited result, you who are feeling limited will not become limitless. Limited plus limited is what? Limited. Finite plus finite is finite only. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Antavattu phalam tesham. In the 23rd shloka, Bhagavan says, those who are worshipping the devatas, and worshipping the devatas means worshipping the Lord with finite desire, they will have finite result. And therefore they will remain in samsara. Whereas those who worship me, infinite Ishvara, through Jnanam, they attain me, the infinite. So you take resort to Sakama Bhakti initially, but finally you come to this Ananta Ishvara, coming to this worship of Ananta Ishvara, which is in the form of Jnana Yoga. So Bhagavan says, Sakama Bhakti is very good, but Nishkama Bhakti alone will make you free from samsara. Then Nishkama Bhakti means what? Worshipping the Lord, pursuing the Lord without material desire. And now, as we have seen, studying the Shastra just to know Ishvara as oneself, this is called Nishkama Bhakti. Here we are not going to offer prasadam at the end of the class, but you have come for knowing this truth. This is Nishkama Bhakti. Some people may have some other agenda also, but generally you want to know Ishvara without any material desire, it's called Nishkama Bhakti. And Bhagavan says, if Nishkama Bhakti is done, then the person will attain this limitless Ishvara. Then now the question is that why people are not pursuing this limitless Ishvara? Why they are stuck with the limited aspect of Ishvara? For that, the answer is given in the next sloka. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam मन्यन्ते माम बुद्धयः परं भावमजानन्तः ममाव्ययमनुत्तमम्. So here Bhagavan says abuddhayaha. Abuddhaya literally means the people who do not have buddhi. Buddhi is not there. For whom? Buddhi avidyamana yesha. So those who do not have buddhi. But here, that is not that they don't have buddhi. They do not have sufficient buddhi to do the viveka, discrimination. Discrimination between what? The material aspect of Ishvara, called Apara Prakriti in the 7th chapter, and the consciousness nature of Ishvara. So Ishvara has got two aspects. One is called Apara Prakriti, material aspect, name and form aspect. And other is called Para Prakriti, Chaitanya Swarupa, the nature which is in the form of consciousness. And these two aspects are not recognized by most of the people. And therefore what happens? They focus only on the material aspect of Ishvara. And because of that, they consider Bhagavan to be coming and going. Because material aspect is subject to coming and going. Even from the standpoint of Avatara, what is generally our thinking? That Ishvara came on Janmashtami day and he disappeared on a particular day. He disappeared on particular, I don't remember the date, some particular day he disappeared. So we consider what? Bhagavan is coming on one day and Bhagavan is going. That is what he said, avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante. Unintelligent or less intelligent people, manyante, consider me to be unmanifest first and then manifest. Unmanifest means imperceptible. Manifest means perceptible. I was not perceptible earlier and now appear to be perceptible. Because they are focusing only on name and form aspect. So they say Krishna was born on this day after 125 years. Krishna was there 125 years. So after that, he left. So why we think like this? Because we are seeing Ishvara only from the material aspect. And Param Bhavam Ajanantaha. They are not knowing the highest nature of me, which is existence consciousness, Mama Param Bhava, my higher nature, which is Avyayam. Avyayam is undecayable. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he was growing, and change will be there, whereas the real nature of Paramat, Bhagavan Krishna's body was growing. It must have become the older than what it was. But Bhagavan says, my real nature is changeless. Anuttamam. Anuttamam means unsurpassable. Means it is the highest which everybody is seeking, Ananda Swarupa. That is one name of Krishna. One meaning of the word Krishna is that Karshati, Akarshati, Sarvaniti Krishna. Who is Krishna? One who is attracting everyone towards himself. And what is that? Ananda. This Ananda, this fullness, which we generally call happiness, that is the one which attracts everybody. Really speaking, everybody is interested in happiness only. Nobody is interested in the object or the person. As long as this object is giving happiness, we are interested in the object. When we don't find happiness, we are not interested. That is why we have love marriage and afterwards there is a allowing, love you and allowing you happens. First I love you and then after some time I allow you to go. Why? Because now you are no more source of happiness. In fact, you are source of unhappiness. So really speaking, everybody is interested in what? Happiness. This is a fact which we must remember when we are dealing with others and others are treating us in a different manner. Many people have this problem. Swamiji, earlier my spouse was not like this. Earlier my children was not like this. Especially this is a very common phenomenon in India. What? Swamiji, my son was so affectionate to me, treating me so well, but after he has got married, I don't know what that lady has done to him. This is a very common comment. We must know one thing, that as long as you are seen to be the source of happiness, people will love you, people will show their consideration, affection, care, etc. When they don't see that, it is very natural. So they will not have that expression of love, etc., which used to be. And you need not blame the world for that. People are very selfish, Swamiji, as if you are not selfish. Everybody is selfish. Then, but Swamiji, what about the duty? Yes, do your duty and seek and appreciate the happiness in doing your duty. That shows your growth. But if somebody treats you differently because you are not source of happiness, you should be able to understand and validate the person. This is by the way, but very important to know. See, really everybody is interested in happiness. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. And Atma Puja Swamiji used to say, pleased self. Everybody is interested in pleased self. Whoever invokes pleased self in you, that person becomes dear to you. Whoever invokes pleased self, that person becomes dear to you. That thing becomes dear to you. Otherwise, what? We give up. And so Bhagavan Sri Krishna is Ananda Swarupaha. And that Ananda attracts everybody. Therefore, Bhagavan Swarupa is called Anuttamam. Anuttamam means unsurpassable. Nothing is higher than that. So that higher nature of Ishvara, people do not pay attention and they focus only on this Nama Rupa, name and form. And therefore, they do not worship, they do not pursue my higher nature. They do not even pay attention to that. So if they have got some clue that beyond this name and form, what is there is the limitless Paramatma, then they would have pursued. But they do not have any clue about it, and therefore they do not worship infinite Ishvara. The Maya Devi is so powerful. See, names and form, Nama Rupatmika Maya Devi is so powerful that nobody pays attention to Narayana. Lakshmi is so powerful that nobody pays attention to Narayana. People want Lakshmi, not Narayana. In Jagannath, there is a Subhadra and this Jagannath, Krishna, Balaram, Subhadra Devi. So once there was just a story that some what is called the discussion must have happened, and Subhadra Devi said, because of me you are getting all attention. If I am not there, you will not get any attention. And then he said, do you want to see? He said, let us see. And Subhadra Devi, he assumed the form of this ordinary human being, but having this lot of wealth with her, she went to one place and say, I want food. And you don't have to bring vessel for me. I will give you golden vessels. And after I have my food, this golden vessel will be yours. People were very eager, come to my house, come to my house, come to my house. She said, I will come, but you should not feed anybody after me. If you feed, that vessel will disappear. This is my addition. So, people say, yeah, we will not feed, not today. Even if you want 1 week, we will not feed. And so, people were very eager, and she went to different houses and gave golden vessels. And afterward, this Krishna and Balrama, they were coming and say, हमको भिक्षा दे दो. बोले, no, we will not give you bhiksha, because if we give bhiksha, our golden vessel will disappear. So whole day they asked for bhiksha, they did not get. And Subhadraji told, see, you understand what is my importance. So people are so much interested in this glittering Lakshmi that Narayana, this Satchidananda Paramatma, nobody is interested. And that is what he said. Because of that, people don't worship me. So people do not worship infinite Paramatma because their attention is focused on Nama Rupa. They are seeing Paramatma only as someone who is subject to coming and going. Means their focus is on names and forms. And therefore they do not worship infinite Ishvara. Now the question is that why people are not knowing Paramatma? Paramatma is everywhere. Existence, consciousness is everywhere. How come people are not knowing? For that, answer is given in the next shloka. Naham prakashas sarvasya yogamaya samavritah mudhoyam nabhijanati loko mamajam abhyayam. So Bhagavan says, Aham sarva